It is Friday, October 3rd, and I want to share with you one powerful aspect that I'm sure we have all been experiencing, and it is connected with things from the past, possibly relationships, values, themes from the past have been brought to the surface this past week. So again, it is Friday somewhere in the world. Depending on your time zone, the exact conjunction of Venus and the South Node, that is what we're speaking to. This will be alive this weekend. The exact conjunction is this weekend, Saturday to Sunday, depending on where you are. But the energy has been alive all week. So the conjunction is over the weekend, but the build up to the exact conjunction to the actual event is generally a lot more powerful than the event itself. So it's this time that we're in this week, this build up of energy where we could have been experiencing these types of themes, right? So the themes being something connected to the past. We know the South Node here, South Node in Venus, the South Node is all about our karmic past and things that we're meant to let go of, that we've reached a point in our evolution where we need to release these things. In order for us to grow and to evolve, something needs to be put down and let go of. And before I go into describing this energy, how it could show up in the sign of Virgo, right? This is Venus in Virgo with the South Node in Virgo. So I just want to highlight that we have been going through a time of massive purging and releasing because we've had planets. We just moved through Virgo season, right? So all the planets are going to cross over the South Node here. The South Node, again, being our karmic past, what we're meant to release and to let go of. So this past eclipse that we had, the final eclipse and new moon in Virgo, maybe you recall this was a little over a week ago now, September 21st it happened. And that was a time of massive releasing, detoxing, purging, letting go of things in your life that you no longer needed. And now it's kind of like a continuation of that energy, but in regards to relationships, specifically relationships, values, what we used to place value in and what no longer resonates with us, what we no longer find value in. Maybe something that we used to care about or we used to place a lot of value in is now draining or exhausting or bringing us, mental anguish, mental worry, because this sign here, Virgo, where Venus and the South Node are, it's ruled by the planet Mercury. Virgo ruled by Mercury, which is about our mind and communication. And so with this aspect, again, it's been active all throughout the week. Maybe you've been experiencing different themes, different situations, maybe even people, literal humans coming back into your life, people from the past, maybe past relationships, past partners. Things from the past are stirred up when we have a planet in conversation with the South Node, in conjunction with the South Node. And so it could have shown up like, this is what we're here to be looking at with this transit. We're looking at the ways that we're looking at many things, but we're looking at how our own fears and self-critical judgment and how we can be so harsh on ourselves or maybe feel like, we don't look how we want to, or we don't feel like we're perfect in this area. So then it stops us from showing up. It stops us from going out into the world. This is what we're looking at. That shadow side of Virgo, and Venus is connected to beauty and to our values, relationships. So we're looking at how we can, stop ourselves from even showing up for people or for showing up for ourselves or showing up in life because of the judgment, the Virgo shadow, the Virgo judgment, and just this critiquingness, this perfectionistic tendency, which can be really beautiful, and they can be really good at pointing out where things could improve. But since this is with the South Node, we're painting it a little bit more negatively. We're looking at the shadow side. We're looking at the ways that the shadow of Virgo prevents us from showing up and from connecting with people, right? Because Venus is all about connection and about relationships. So we're looking at our own tendencies here. This could be coming up to the surface throughout this whole week, and maybe there could be something, that happens this weekend that really puts that right in front of our face so we can work with it. It's at the forefront of our consciousness, these themes. Virgo can also feel this pressure to be useful, to be of service, to, constantly kind of compromise or be the victim or the martyr. They can have that tendency, the shadow side. So we're also looking at this, the excessive need to want to overgive or to put yourself last or to kind of, bend over backwards to show up for people, to prove that you're useful or that you're competent or that you're, worthy. This is the shadow side of this transit. So noticing if these themes are coming up for you this week, throughout the weekend, and just watching it, right? Sitting with it, being conscious of these themes, understanding that that is what's supposed to be stirred up right now. With this conjunction, it's stirring up these themes so we can look at them and we can notice how we've grown and we can notice the stories that we want to put down, that we want to actively work through. And Virgo is connected to our discernment. I love this about Virgo. I love that it is the point in the zodiac. It's right here. It's the 6th house. So right before, it's the last of the bottom half of the chart, and then we go into the top half. The bottom half is more about the self, developing the self, and the upper half is about how we come out and show up in the world, and do relationships, partnership with other people. So the 6th, where Virgo lives in the chart, it is all about, it is this point where it is then going to, Libra comes after it, right? So it's then going to come into partnership and come into interaction with other people, and Virgo is all about discernment, what they want, what is for them, what they'll say yes to, and what is not for them. So right now, again, maybe kind of getting this like upgrade within our ability to know what we want, to be so discerning, to be so mindful and meaningful with everything that we choose. Again, being able to say yes and to say no to things. So maybe you're noticing that you're saying no to things that in the past you would have said yes to or you would have loved to have, but this is an upgrade within our value system. This is a looking at what values we no longer, hold on to, what things we no longer place that much meaning in, just what we've outgrown, what is outdated in our life in regards to where we spend our time, our money, our energy, how we protect our energy, the types of relationships that we'll allow in our lives, right? That's what Venus is about, relationships. And so noticing the relationships that are draining you, that are exhausting you, that are keeping you in the same fucking looping, right? The mental looping, the rumination, the worry, the stress, the anxiety. That is the shadow side of Virgo, the mental looping that again can be presented as the South Node can stir up things from the past that we're meant to let go of at this time. So yes, maybe we're getting by with less. Maybe we're realizing the things that we actually need, the things that actually bring meaning and value to our lives, and the other extra things that we thought gave us some sort of sense of meaning are just no longer relevant in our life. So while we have this transit taking place, right, all throughout the week, and then the weekend it'll be exact, we also have many other things happening in the sky, but one of them I want to point at is this aspect here with Mercury and Chiron. So you can see them, Mercury in Libra, Chiron in Aries. They are opposing each other. They're actually in a T-square here with Jupiter and Cancer. And so all of the astrology words, what does that mean? Basically, there's a lot around relationship. There's a lot of relationship themes that are taking place this week. There's a lot of reflection and review around how we did things in the past, how our own wounds and insecurities and mental shit, the mental stories and the fears have prevented us from showing up in the world. Yes, so while we're reviewing these themes of things that should be released and let go of, things that are outdated within relationship, we're also looking at our own internal wounding here and our ability to then be the teacher, right? Let's not forget that Chiron is also the healer, the teacher archetype. It's healed. Once it heals the wound, it can then go on and teach and share and heal that medicine with other people. And so Chiron opposing Mercury here, there can be things coming up around fears, vulnerabilities, kind of insecurities within the mind, or looking at how our mind, our thoughts, our own beliefs about ourselves and about what's possible has stopped us from showing up fully in the world or moving towards the things that we desire most. And I just love that. I love this. I love this chart right now. And I love that we have Mars in Scorpio here. It is such a powerful energy. So this is determination, this is focus, this is like stopping at nothing to achieve what you want. So we're moving through a lot of healing, a lot of things could be coming up, there could be some tenderness, some sensitivity, but we're at a place in our evolution where we're able to face it, where it's time to work with these things. And Mars and Scorpio is like, you have work to do. Like, show up and do the work and evolve and grow through whatever the experience is. That's what Mars and Scorpio wants. So that is a little bit about the current astrology and this powerful aspect that we have going on this week. I hope that this is helpful and supports you in working with this energy. And as always, I'm available for readings. If you would like to book with me, the link is here.